Hi, I'm Jamie, and welcome to Teachers Tech. Have you been thinking about starting your own podcast? Or maybe you're a teacher thinking about starting a podcast with your students, and you're just not sure of all the tech that it takes. Is it going to be too much? Well, I have a tool here today to make this all easy, and you're going to be amazed with all the things that you can do, from enhancing your speech to doing a mic check and record and edit. And you're not going to believe how you can edit your audio. It's like editing a document. So I'm going to show you how to use this app today on Teachers Tech. The app that I want to show you today is Adobe Podcast. You can see that it's still in beta, but this works fantastic. I've tested it out with students and they took it up very, very quickly. Now I want to point out before we get started, I'm going to be using the premium version. There is a free version here today, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on this to show you what it includes. If you know the duration of your recordings will be below 30 minutes, probably the free version will work great for you. You can go ahead and create an account. You can test out the premium version for 30 days here, and you get a few more options, especially with your duration. I'm going to go ahead and get logged in now. Now, if you look up top, you can see I have premium access and I'm logged into my account. Now, the first thing that I'm going to show you is that you can do a mic check. You can fix microphone issues before recording. So you can go here, go to mic check, and just go through the process and allow. Make sure that you allow up top as well. I'm going to go and select test mic and read this right here. How is my microphone set up and placement? Then it will show me what's working and what's not. Distance to the microphone looks good. The gain, if we want to see what gain is, so gain measures your microphone sensitivity. Now I could make an adjustment to that. Even if you're using Mac, Windows, or Chromebook, they have different guides here. I would adjust these things and try to test my mic again. Let's move over to the recording studio now. I'm going to go up to Tools, and right here is my studio. Once I'm in the studio, I'm just going to give it a quick scroll down so you can see that they have different templates and examples set up here. I'll come back here a little bit later after we do some recording because the templates are great to see how they were created, and you can use these templates as well. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and hit New Project. I want to give you a quick walk around of the Adobe Podcast Studio here, starting in the top left-hand corner. This is how I would get back to home if I clicked it, but your title goes here of what you're naming this project. You can go and edit it. If we move across the top, this shows me the account I'm connected to. I can invite guests into this. So not only can I record my own voice, I can invite guests from anywhere in the world. And then when they come into it, I can go and record them and have a conversation with them. When we're all done, we download our audio and transcripts here. And when we want to share a template, we can go and make a template and share it. And then other people can use that template as a starting point. And it only changes, it makes a copy, so it doesn't change your original. On the left-hand side, this is where I can upload other audio to enhance from my computer. And I can even upload video to enhance with the audio as part of the premium package. We have music, royalty-free music that I can go through and choose that they offer, and I can also upload audio. We can go and add a placeholder, and we have our filter to enhance the speech that we can go and turn that on afterwards, maybe if your microphone's not as good. Down here at the bar, this is where we're going to record. This is where we do our playback, and on the right-hand side of this is just the mute to turn off your mic. Or as I said, if other people come in too, you'll be able to hear them talking so they can mute themselves. And we have our setup here. What microphone do you want to choose when you're recording? So that's our little walk around. Let's go and do a little recording here just by clicking here. Now, when I go ahead and record myself, I am going to be saying some things I want deleted and adding some ums in, and I'm going to show you how easy you can take those out. So let's go ahead and start our first episode. Welcome to episode 1 of how to create a podcast on Teachers Tech, where I go through the step-by-step setups here. I'm going to go stop recording. Now, this is where the magic happens. So take a look what happens here. This is a transcript of what I said. So I'm going to go ahead and play back. Welcome to episode 1 of how to create a podcast on, notice I said the I can edit this like a document. If I click in here, I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard. And let's go back a few spots here and I'll hit play again. To create a podcast on teachers tech, where I go through the step-by-step. So there was another one at the end. So I'm just deleting different parts of here. So if I want a word gone, so if I take the word episode and I just hit delete from here and I go back to the beginning and listen now. Welcome to one of how to create a podcast. This takes the tech out of it. You just have to read and then delete the words to do your editing. Now I could go ahead and continue my recording by just hitting the record again here. So now it's creating another chunk, which I can just record for how long and do the same thing and go ahead and stop it and then do any edits that I need. You can see that the ease of doing this is so intuitive, especially just like editing text. Now, if you want to enhance your audio, all you have to do is go to the filters. So if you click on filters, you can turn it on right here to enhance the speech. So if I click it on, I can play it again. And welcome to one of how my microphone sounds pretty good prior. So even with this on, so if I just let it play with this on here, if I click play,
podcast on
and I toggle it on,
where I go through the step-by-step
I can hear
setups here.
Slight difference when I turn it on and off. If you're maybe working with a less quality mic, then you'll hear a stronger difference. Now, the other thing that this makes it so easy to add is music. So if I click on music here, notice that my selection tool is right here. If I go, remember I can upload an audio, but remember about copyright, these are copyright free. If I just click this one here, I could preview it here. If I want to add it, I hit the plus. And watch, since I have my cursors right here, if I hit the plus, that's where it's going to add it in. So here it goes right, if I was hitting play now.
Step-by-step setups here.
And then the music plays. We also have undo. So if you ever want to go back a step like that. If I want the music to play at the beginning, this is where I can go back to it now, add it here, and then it's going to be putting it right at the point here. So it's really easy to add the music exactly where you want. The other thing you can do is if you want it to fade in, so I can turn it off and fade out. Now notice the fade in is right here. So if I was going to go ahead and hit play, I'm going to go back to the beginning by just clicking at the very beginning. It has a fade in on it. Now, do you want this as the background? Go back to the ellipsis and set as background. So if I go here, now watch what happens. So if I go back and hit play now, it's going to have welcome. This is going to be in the background.
Welcome to one of how to create a podcast on teachers.
They just quieted it down so I can hear my voice, but I can hear a little bit about that music too. Really easy to work with music and filters in Adobe Podcast. If you want to have a guest on your podcast, just go ahead and hit invite guest. Now this is where you can add the email, and I'll just use one of my other accounts and I'll pull it up side by side so you can see what's happening. Just click the email, invite, and then that person's going to have to sign in with their account and you're going to see them join in. So here we are. I have my invite over on this account. I clicked on the email and now it's asking me to join the session. I'm just going to go on this account, hit my mute on this mic, and I could go through the check mic here as well. I'm going to join the session. And take a look at this up top. You can see that I have joined. It's not recording right now. I could choose my mute if I wanted to. But as soon as I start recording over on this side, so I'll go ahead and pick what mic I want, and maybe I'll pick a different mic here. So if I pick this mic right here on this one, and we're going to go ahead and just keep our unmuted here. And I'm going to go and hit record. I'm going to mute this one first, and I'm just going to introduce the person here. Hello, other Jamie. And I'll mute this, and I'll let this one talk. Oh, it's so great to be here. Thanks for inviting me. And now I'm going to go and mute this one and hit stop recording. Now I did a little recording and it shows where I'm talking from this one and where it switches to the other person, and all this is edited. So you can have multiple people if they're making sure to mute themselves and you're having this conversation back and forth. This all gets recorded in these transcripts here. When you're all done, just go up to here and click download, and it will download it as a WAV file. If I go and open up this demo one that we created.
Welcome to one of how to create a podcast on a teacher's.
You can hear the music in the background, and we have that one file. I'm just going to go back to the top left-hand corner and hit the home. This brings me back to the home page of the studio. Now, I could go through and look at some of the demos here that they've created. If I was looking at this here, this Deep Space podcast, if I open this up, this will create a template from this project for me. So just like how you could create your own project, how I showed you all those steps, and then you can save it as that template or share it. They have these ones here that are all set up for you. So you could go through at this time and record your own parts in here, just so you understand kind of how the setup is to test everything out. If you're wondering about that next step, let's say you've recorded your first episode and you're like, now I want to share this out. Try Spotify for Podcaster. This can be all done for free. You can go ahead and make your Spotify account, and then you come to this page and just click Get Started. I'll put a link down below in the description, but this gives you a place to host your podcast on. So go ahead, create an account here if you want to go to that next step of sharing your podcast out. The last thing I wanted to mention, if you do upload your podcast to a place like Spotify and you're looking for some cover art, you can go down. If we look at the very bottom here, they give you templates here that you can go and click on, and you can adjust the naming or change pictures as you would like. So this, I believe, connects through Adobe Express, but is part of the premium one. So I hope you're going to have a lot of fun playing with Adobe Podcast. I know I do. It's just so intuitive to use, and it just makes you feel like you can get going with sharing your ideas in a podcast right away. Thanks for watching this week on Teachers Tech. I'll see you next time with more tech tips and tutorials.